Hey guys, Clumsy here and welcome back to ATS. We are still in my favorite truck, the Volvo VNL 2018. But we have quite a heavy load behind us. We are carrying a 25-ton crawler tractor from Yakima, where we are, and the farm where we ended up last episode, to Colville, still in Washington. Now, our truck isn't the best equipped for this kind of load, but I found this trailer and I wanted to see how I fare with this kind of heavy cargo with articulated trailers. So, we'll see what we can do, alright? We'll do our best. Anyway, EVR sounds, you guys know the drill and everything. Absolutely loving this truck and I just can't get enough of it. Alright, let's see. Now, I had a bit of a challenge back there trying to get this out. It was a bit skimpy back there in that farm. Not the best for this kind of trailer, but I think we'll manage to make it work somehow. We just give it as much space as we can. There we go, beautiful. Alright, normally I should have some flags in front, like these ones, the red flags on the side and the oversized load in front here. But I'm a bit of a lazy guy, so I skipped it. Sorry about that. But yeah, we just stay away from the police and we should be fine. I hope. We will see. Anyway, so more Q&As. I don't have much updates in terms of trucking. Everything is still cooking. I don't see a lot of updates in terms of new releases, in terms of from SCS or from the mods. I did see that there is an upcoming Mercedes tuning pack, so that one I'll definitely get into once it's released. But I am out of the country when this video gets released, so hopefully the tuning pack doesn't get released today or in the coming days or in the past few days. But it often happens that when I go for vacation, some huge thing releases and I miss the release date, but that's all good as long as it's there, right? Anyway, alright, so let's go and get on with some Q&As, right? That should get interesting. So let's proceed. Jay still has a couple of questions for us. Thanks a lot, Jay. Is this where we should be turning off? Yes, I think so. On the right side. Looping around and making our way to... So down here. Going to be very, very hairy if we speed up so much here. Thank goodness we have a retarder. Perfect. Oh, train. Racing? Racing with trains? Why not? And where should we be going? Goodness, where is this? Where are we headed? This is the weirdest thing. U-turnception. So from here we make a U-turn where that swift truck is headed, I think. Okay, so let me move to the left lane here. Thank you. Something like this, maybe, huh? Can my trailer even manage that? Okay, and from here, where do we go? Oh crap! Almost hit that side. Alright, so where now? Here? Okay, yeah, it looks like here. Goodness, this is a very confusing road. Let me show you in the map where that is if you want to drive through here. In Yakima, south of Yakima, over this, whoa, Spaghetti Junction right here. Yeah, so we made all the loops and finally get onto 82 East. Looks like it. Alright, I'm good with that. Alright, on with the Q&A. What do you imagine the lives of super rich people are like? Well, I don't have to imagine, I just live it. That's self-confidence. Just kidding. Of course not. Maybe I should ask you, Jay. Jay would know. imagine the lives of super rich people are like. Well, we've all heard the stories. Being super rich does not equate to being super happy. Actually, in many cases, it's the opposite. And so, believe it or not, my life goal is not to be super rich. Like, I would try my best not to be super rich, because I think it adds so much complication. Like, we probably envy most of these super rich people, but I don't know, for me it just adds that level of complexity that I don't need in my life. Like, I'm happy enough to get the things I need and get most of the things I want, but I don't want to become part of that group who needs, like, if you're earning like millions and millions of dollars or something, it's going to be very hard to maintain that level of lifestyle, because I think the temptation will be very extreme. Like, if you're earning so much, there will be a temptation to spend just as much. And so you get into this cycle of increasing your getting more money in, but also spending more money. And I don't know, it's just finding ways to spend that much of money, it's very troublesome to me. So I don't know, I wouldn't wish it on myself. I wouldn't want to have that kind of life. I want to be rich for sure, but filthy rich, super rich, I don't think I want that complication. Way station. That's no longer the meatballs way station, aka washing machine pass. I was finally able to remove it. So now we are hearing sound fixes, volume adjusted sounds from the sound fixes mod. Thanks, drive safely. So yeah, it's very extravagant. It's very, like, how do you say, Hollywoodish, living a filthy rich lifestyle. But I don't like it, having all those sports cars and everything. Maybe I'm just a very simple guy. Like, if you ask me what my ideal car is, I wouldn't say like a sports car, like a Lamborghini or I don't know what the fancy ones are, Bugatti, or I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't even know them, because for me they're just too complicated. They're just too high maintenance. They're too extravagant, and I feel like I can do something else with that kind of money, something more productive. But that's me. That's my personal opinion. So I guess some people would enjoy it so much, being super rich, but I personally don't envy them. I sometimes take pity on some of them, because they live so, like I mentioned, they are entangled in this cycle of earning and spending and earning and spending and more and more and more, and it's like a downward spiral until it becomes unmaintainable. Now granted, not everyone is like that, because some people know how to manage their finances, and some people have been able to separate their income from their expenses. And I mean that by, even if their income increases, even if they're earning millions, it's not necessarily that they spend millions as well. Like, their spending remains the same. Their lifestyle doesn't creep up together with the income. And that's, if I can manage that, then I would gladly take your offerings to become super rich. But yeah, it's a very tempting situation, so I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Like, those celebrities who become suddenly rich, especially the younger ones, they most of the time they end up getting in trouble, like, getting into drugs or getting into spending so much, getting bankrupt, or getting into rebellious problems. Yeah, because that's what happens when that's what usually happens when you give someone so much money and they're not prepared for it. But yeah, I guess it's a very different thing if you look at those successful businessmen who really worked for their money and know how to manage it. So I guess it's a matter of knowing how to manage your money regardless of how much it is. But yeah, it's not as simple, it's not as luxurious, as good as it sounds from the beginning. That's my point of view. And that might be very party pooperish, but I think it's true. You know, I've heard, I've seen so many people who are so rich but have like broken families, or have feel empty inside, or things like that, because that shouldn't be the end all be all of things. If it is, then it's not going to be a very fruitful life. This is why a lot of people feel empty. So yeah, it's not a very fun answer, I know, but that's the truth from my end, at least. That's my truth. So if you have a different perspective, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to hear it. Maybe I'm just not seeing the amazingness of it. Granted, being super rich would allow me to buy like airplanes and jets of my own. That's going to be amazing, but I mean, yeah, all the complexities behind that, that's not something I would want for now. Maybe ask me again in 10 or 20 years, maybe I'll have a different point of view. But yeah, at the moment, this is how I think of it. Ooh, by the way, one sec. I thought of something. I'm going to pause the game for a sec, right? G traffic is currently 1. In ATS 2, I set the G traffic to 3, and I liked it. So let's see if doing the same here would also give us a very nice realistic result. That should give us more cars on the road without hurting performance so much. Yeah, we're seeing more cars already. I think I like it. Let's observe it, okay? Alright, next question. What would you recommend to someone if they had a day off and didn't know what to do? Lots of people are bored these days because they don't have internet or no friend. So yeah. Yes, getting bored is very much a thing nowadays, which I learned. So we were in a workshop or a seminar at one point, and it was a Catholic seminar to aim to improve relationships and get into better relationship with God and everything. So it was very holistic. And there was a priest who is very logical. I can't remember his order, but apparently there's a certain order of priests where they are very much like scientists in their way of thinking. They're very, very logical. Like if you think about a priest, at least my first impression when I hear about a priest, yes, he's very religious. You know, he is very faithful. So it's not very faith and science are on opposite ends of the stick most of the time. So this is the last thing I expected from him. But yeah, this priest, he was very methodical. He was very logical, and he made arguments that are very sound. And one of his sessions, he mentioned something along the lines of boredom. Boredom was only coined or was invented, I can't remember the exact time, but back in the 60s or 70s or maybe sometime earlier, by some European guy, some French guy, I think. I can't remember who exactly. But imagine that. Boredom did not come from our human nature. It was invented as part of our culture, because we started looking for more asking for more, wanting more stimulation, wanting more and more, to the point that when we don't have it, we get bored. And that's just such a sad thing, because if you imagine the people from older times, they wouldn't have computers, they wouldn't have their phones, they wouldn't have technology. They would have, I don't know, they would be working the fields in the morning, finish that off. They would be done by midday, and they would be chilling by under the tree and just looking at the sky the entire day or something like that. And they wouldn't get bored. Boredom is something that we have developed as a culture because of all the stimulation we've been getting, all the instant gratification from social media, from games, from different sources. So we get instant gratification. So when you cut that out, it's people are instantly bored. Like nowadays, the ultimate punishment for youngsters by their parents is to turn off the Wi-Fi or to cut off access to the phone or the tablet. And that is immediately causing boredom, and it's such a sad thing to see that we are now very much dependent on technology to that level. And I am guilty of this as well. I remember the time, I think a few weeks ago, when I lost my Wi-Fi, I lost my internet at home, and I was like, what the heck am I supposed to do? No internet? It's just so sad to think of it that way, and that we've grown so dependent on internet. And without it, we couldn't even last a few minutes. So what do I advise people? If they have the day off, switch off. Just disconnect from social media, from everything. Disconnect, live a different life. Try to get a feeling of how it was before the time when we were enslaved by our own gadgets. And think inside, reflect. Isn't that something that makes you feel more whole? Isn't that something that makes you feel happier and not just chasing after something that you can't chase off? That's something that I try to be more conscious of. Like, I'm still dependent on my phone. I have it with me all the time, but I try not to be fully immersed in my phone at all times, especially when I'm outside. I try not to fiddle with it every time I get. And this is something I would advise everybody, not only on your day off, but every day of your life. And if I could sum it up in one word. Are we here? We're almost here, 51 miles. If I could sum it up in one word, I would sum it up as intentional. Live a more intentional life. And what I mean by that, when it comes to social media or your phone, for example, like the phone or the tablet or whatever gadget, think of it as a tool. A tool is something you use when you need something to do something, right? For example, I don't know, when a screw is loose, you need a screwdriver to get it back in shape, to get it back aligned and stuff like that. So you get that screwdriver from the garage, you use it, and then you bring it back. Treat the phone the same way. Don't just fiddle with your phone 24/7. Use your phone when you really have something to use it for. Like, I don't know, you need to look up something, look for a recipe, or Google something, your definition, or check your calendar, what appointments do you have upcoming. Then check your phone. Okay, do that. Oh my goodness, it's heavy. I can't even lift it. Oh crap. This is going to be troublesome. That guy is smart. He knows that I'm going to use him as my anchor. Like this guy at our back. Come on. And go. There we go. Thank you, bro. on, thank you, perfect timing. Alright, you're good. So live a more intentional life, and that might be very deep, but in social media, in gadget perspective, that's my tip. Use it as a tool. Like, find start with a purpose. Do you really need to do something? Okay. Do you need your phone to do that? Okay, then do it. And once you're done with that, turn off the phone. Get the phone back in your pocket or back away. Because usually what happens is, I need to look up something. Or that doesn't, not even that, but I'm bored. Fiddle with your phone. Yeah, social media. Or do something. And so that's why we tend to be stuck in our phones 24/7, because we're always bored. Because we're always looking for something to do. But I mean, imagine the dependency we've developed through the years. Look outside your house. When you're outside your house, look at the people. 9 out of 10 people will be looking down on their phones, and it's such a sad picture. You know how beautiful the world is outside, and no one's even looking at it, because everyone is having much more enjoyment, getting more likes on Facebook or getting more hearts in Instagram or whatnot. So right now, what I'm doing personally is I'm trying to minimize my use of the phone or the PC or whatever. So if I want to play, then I play. But if I want to look up something, then I'll look up something. But it has to be purposeful. You know, it cannot be just random. Because if it's just random, then it will fill your entire day. It will fill your entire life with that, empty scrolling, empty swiping. So if it's your day off, it's the perfect time to start. And disconnect from technology. Maybe read a book, go outside, enjoy the sky. Try to appreciate the little things that you normally don't pay attention to. I don't know, the sound of the rustling leaves, the smell of the air, the taste of each and every bite you get into when you have your meal. Because I'm sure you're guilty of this as well. I do this sometimes. I try not to, but sometimes it's just so compelling. Like eating while checking your phone, eating while checking Facebook, eating while watching a video, right? And it's a very entertaining thing. I'm very guilty of that, eating while watching. And just try it sometimes. Turn off everything and just eat, and just enjoy each taste that gets into you. Oh my goodness, G-Traffic 3 has negative side effects. Yes, this feels so much like real life in Manila. No thank you. Alright, evasive maneuvers. Don't hit anybody, thank you. It's getting a bit laggy with all the cars lined up. Alright, there we go. So yes, that's my number one advice. And let me just ramble on a bit more about that topic, because I think it's really something that we should actively and consciously work for. Let's be more intentional with whatever we do. Use the phone as a tool. Use the phone as something that can help you, but will not swallow you whole. And if you catch yourself, I'm just mindlessly scrolling now. Like, okay, you maybe looked up something, okay, and you found it, and then suddenly a notification pops up. Oh, someone messaged me, or oh, someone liked my photo or something. Then you get into it, and then you start scrolling away, swiping away, and you're stuck for the next 30, 60, 90 minutes. And sometimes it's okay when it's downtime, but if you do that often enough, you notice most of your day just passes by and you're not sure where it went, because it went into your phone. So it's a bit sad. I don't know about you guys, if you're okay with that concept. I don't know if you guys are okay with looking outside and seeing people, everybody looking at their phones. For me, it makes me sad. I don't know why. I feel like the world deserves to be looked at more. I feel like it deserves more attention. You know, the sights we see here, I think it deserves more attention from us, rather than us stuck to our phones all the time. But yeah, I'm also guilty with that, so it sounds like I'm preaching, but I'm also preaching to me at the very least. I'm trying to teach myself, and I'm trying to admonish myself. Is that the right term? I think so. So be mindful and see how we can improve our intention, be more intentional. Oh, it's raining. I thought I disabled that. Well, it's only a drop. Minimal rain, maybe. Left lane closed. Okay, let's just slow down here. Alright, there you go. Okay, let's get on with it. So yes, hopefully you guys are able to resonate with me on that topic. I'm sure most of the people do. And yeah, I hope you guys get my points, and if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm missing something, maybe it's not so bad. But yeah, it's very sad to see. Like we saw some like videos of how the people nowadays react, how youngsters react nowadays when you take away their phones from them, turn off the Wi-Fi for them, and the way they react is similar, very similar to how people who are addicted to drugs, how they react when drugs are taken away from them. So the same addiction, the same level of addiction is now taking an effect with many people, and I think I am included in that. I mean, I try to be conscious, but to be honest, I am addicted to technology, to gadgets, to my stuff. And yeah, what do they say in the first the first step? Well, what is the first step in AA? Alcoholics Anonymous? I don't know, but I think the first step is being aware that you have a problem, and I think I have a problem. Question is, do you? Very dramatic pause. But yeah, please think about it and let me know if you relate with that in any way, and let's try to be more intentional. Like if you ask the older people, they don't have the same problem, they're not as hooked to technology, because during their time, just nudge him a bit, during their time gadgets were not a thing yet, so they grew old without these gadgets, so they can live without them. But it's a very different picture nowadays for our younger generation, and I'm guessing many of us are still in the younger generation, me included. I wish. But, yeah. So think about it, okay? We definitely need phones in our lives nowadays, because it's really just so useful. You don't need to memorize as much, because everything is in your phone. You don't need to... Yeah, the phone is a very useful tool, but that's exactly what it should be, a tool. And sometimes we tend to treat it a bit more, and that's when the problems start. Trailer damage? What the heck? Okay, that should be okay. Another very interesting farm layout here. Very unique looking farms, I like it. Oh crap, this is going to be a problem. Yeah. We are in it now. I think we'll have to reverse this. Dang it. Okay, here we go. I'm not liking this at all. No, that doesn't look good. But fine, I think we can make it work somehow. Let's reverse through here. Get a bit of different angle over there. It's looking more like it. Oh crap, that doesn't look good. Okay, let's see. Maybe this will work better. I'm surprised we even got to reverse in the first place. Okay, it's looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Straighten this out. And see. There we go. Oh. Now let's do this properly. Do this properly. Okay. So this again. Oh crap. I had it. I almost had it. Okay, let's reverse it this time again. Alright, that looks good. Come on. There we go. I'll take that, thank you. Yes. Phew. There we go. Still excellent, nice. Even if he got trailer damage, cargo damage was 0. Perfect. That's 23k right there. Amazing. Alright, let's leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you were able to relate with some of the topics and let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Clumsy Trucking, guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like button, comment, share, and all that stuff, okay? Really means a lot. Really helps me a lot. Thanks and bye-bye. Clumsy Trucking.